This is Marcus Corvan. We're here at RFA 38 in Orange County. We've got Terrion Ware getting ready for your bout in Minnesota coming up in about a month. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. I'm like already on weight. It's crazy. I'm 6 weeks out and I can make weight tomorrow if I wanted to. So, feeling good.
Is that you saying that you're going to drop to 125?
No, I'll never make 125. Like, you look at me when I weigh in at 135, I'd have to cut off another limb to make 125.
So, you're almost in weight and you're a month out. Have you changed anything for this fight?
I gave up pizza.
Was that the main diet change?
That was the main diet change. Just gave up. No, just mostly just mostly giving up some of the the foods, and then just I mean it's kind of weird. I mean I haven't changed my diet very much. I feel like I've been training harder, and the weight's just kind of coming off, and it's just right after my last fight that I just had too. So my metabolism's still going, and I'm just waking up like 146, 147. It's not.
You were very, very active for a long time. RFA, fighting everywhere. You just come off a great win in, I would say, at least a California Fight of the Year nominee against Rob Gooch. It was very, very tough. You had a pro boxing fight in December. Is it that you just want to fight?
I just love fighting, man. It's just one of those things where 6 years ago when I started training, after I had my first fight, I just became obsessed with it. So this is pretty much just all I want to do. Anytime I get an opportunity to fight, and I'm always staying healthy as well too. Anytime I get an opportunity to fight, I'll take a fight.
You're now 24 fights deep, no, 19 fights deep in your professional career. Your last fight was the first time you had a cut on your face in mixed martial arts. That's almost unheard of.
I have a good moisturizer. Shout out to Avon. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. Some people just have that weird skin, like when you look at BJ Penn for the longest, he never really got cut in any of his fights either, and I never got cut. And then I was actually surprised after the first round when my corner sat me down and said, "Hey, you're cut." Like, the first thing that came to my mind is I'm going to hit him with an elbow and I'm going to cut him back. And in the very next round, that's exactly what I did. And I got 3 stitches, he got 25, so not a fair trade, but I'll take it.
You fought for a few times. Yeah. You fought for the title against a very, very tough and skilled Luke Saunders. You got one of the Blumenthal opponents, brothers, fighting you in his hometown. What? He's not the southpaw. He's the orthodox fighter.
I was originally supposed to fight the southpaw, Melvin, and I guess he got hurt. So they offered me his brother, and I was like, well, it's the same person pretty much, really. But he's the orthodox, so I'm fighting the orthodox guy out in Minnesota in their hometown. So I'm excited, man. I don't crowds don't bother me. I actually like it when I get booed. So, but I'm gonna walk out probably wearing a Minnesota Vikings jersey to get some fans. I don't want to get beat up after the fight. I'll be really, really far away from the hometown and nobody to help me out. So, hopefully, they like the show, they like the fight that I put on, and I plan on going out there and stealing a win in his hometown. And
we are now Saunders who has moved on, not in life, but to the UFC. Is that title still something that you want?
Absolutely. My end goal is to get to the UFC, and it's been shown that winning the title here for RFA, pretty much gets you there. So, I would love to win a title for RFA. It's a prestigious title. It's some of the top talent out here. So to put that on my mantle and that have that up in the gym and Systems Training Center, another one, that would be awesome.
Now, not overseeing anyone. You've got a tough opponent and a tough fight ahead of you in Minnesota. Is there anyone out there that you would want to fight? Say, within the RFA, within the UFC, you fought Soto, who was in his last fight before he fought TJ Dillashaw. You've been very, very close a couple of times. Is there anyone out there that you would like to fight just to put a mark out there and to show who you are?
You mean outside of the UFC?
Any show that you could mention?
You want to
fight?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. Anybody in the top 10 in the UFC. They're high level fighters, and I feel like I'm a high level fighter as well. I've had a couple bad breaks, and but I feel like I'm one of the best strikers in my division, and I can put on a good show, and I would want to fight anybody in the top 10 in the UFC. Anybody in the top 5 here in RFA. I'm fighting a guy that's I guess that would be considered in the top 5, top 10 or whatever in RFA. Any one of those guys. Nobody really off head that I could just say like that's the person I want to fight. But anybody that's a good matchup, it's a high level fighter that gets me closer to where I want to be, which is the next level in the UFC.
You saw a former opponent of yours in Joe Murphy losing to a tough Vinny Zani. You actually fought on the same card before as well, you and Vinny Zani. Was it? Did that fight go the way you expected it to go?
Actually, no. I mean, I seen Vinicius fight. I've seen him once. And I was impressed, but you know, I haven't really heard much from him, you know, since, you know, after that. And you know, but watching him tonight, I mean, you could clearly see that he's made some huge improvements and huge gaps. I thought the fight would be a little bit closer, but he dominated the fight, you know, over a tough guy in Joe Murphy. You know, I was surprised to see the fight go that way, but you know, I mean, it's what happens when you get in the gym and you improve.
Zani's actually been living in Thailand and fighting down there, fighting Muay Thai down there, and that's why we hasn't been heard much of on stateside. But Joe Murphy is a high-level black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Zani's a black belt as well. Were you surprised that, even in your fight as well, that he doesn't go for more ground, for takedowns and ground fighting? You
know, one of the things that I thought and I seen in his last couple of fights, you know, since when he knocked out Bruno, I feel like he fell in love. That was his first knockout. I feel like he fell in love. You know, it's kind of the same thing, you know, what you see with strikers, you know, boxers, kickboxers. They start knocking guys out in the first round. They fall in love with, you know, going for the big shots and getting the knockout. And I felt like he's, you know, that he's starting to, you know, trying to knock people out, try to stand with people instead of, you know, using, you know, what he's best at and what's got him here. You know, he has a ton of submissions early in his career, and now it seems like he wants to strike. But I feel like he would do better if he mixed in both. You know, if you know, get some takedowns early on, threaten guys, and then use his striking. You know, or vice versa. So I felt like he just kind of got away with the thing that's, you know, that's made him successful, and it's just something that he's gonna have to, you know, look at and fix. You know, so.
Terrion Ware, we're looking forward to seeing you in Minnesota, July 18th, correct?
15th.
15th. Check him out, and he'll be back in RFA again.
Thank you, guys.